gentlemen, the Uncutt Podcast.
Oh, you're already doing it. I thought it was my turn, but you're already doing the thing. Okay.
Oh, I'm sorry. Are we live yet?
Yeah, we're live. We're live,
okay.
pal.
Okay, I'm just making sure.
Yeah, okay. Hold on. Dude, that God, will you just hurry up? My God, I hate. Wait a minute. Hold on. Something's wrong.
What's wrong?
Okay, I'm here. Your boy at the Ace Nick White. Robbie, you're here. You're over there because it's 36 episodes in. I still don't know which way to point. I feel like we're missing something.
Where's Panda?
I feel like this is a panda-free zone. Hold on. I got an idea. Wait a minute. We got a TJ Vegas instead.
What the hell?
What's up, everybody?
Copyright
Look,
infringement.
TJ Vegas, the dude from the Indy Movement.
Yeah.
At Kilmurray603. Go follow him
That
on
video
Spotify.
guy.
It's our video guy. He makes the best damn videos in the game, man. Shit.
Speaking of video, man, the one that we just played before the show started, that was courtesy of yours truly right below us.
That guy down there.
Yeah.
And even that voice in the beginning, super sexy. Honest to God, let's be real, everybody. It's the handsomest man alive, TJ Vegas.
Yeah, contractually obligated.
I'm contractually obligated to talk about Super Hog TJ Vegas. That's what they call him in the streets.
Little old frisbee dick.
How's it going, dude?
Dude, I worked earlier today, and I've just been watching indie wrestling all day up until like this point. And then tomorrow I got nothing to do but watch the Heat, so let's fucking go.
Did you happen to catch? Let's just cheap plug. Did you happen to catch Southern Underground Pro's New Direction event from this past Sunday, sponsored by your boys at the Uncutt Podcast?
I didn't watch it yet.
It's all good, man. Show was fucking killer.
Dude, yeah, I'm definitely watching it tomorrow.
Dude, if nothing else, I've watched it 4 times. That's not even a joke, obviously, including when I was at the show. Hoodfoot versus Daniel Makabe is the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen in person.
It's such a weird match on paper. I was baffled when I was making the video.
I saw it, and I'm like, this is either going to be a clusterfuck or it's going to be beautiful. Luckily, it was a beautiful clusterfuck. And, dude, the whole show's amazing. If you haven't seen it yet on IWTV, definitely go check out New Direction from this past Sunday. You will see your boy on hard cam the whole fucking night losing his mind.
You were on assignment.
Dude, on assignment. No, I was being a fucking mark, and I was proud as shit of it. But tonight, our guest, wait a minute. That's not right. TJ, do the honors.
Yeah, so this man is one of the most creative men in all of independent wrestling today. I've worked on tens of videos for this dude, known him since 2015. He even has a move named after me. How sick is that? My homie and your future homie. This is Smiley.
Tonight, we seen the death of Smiley, and in the same night, man, the rebirth. Test me and run upside your head like Jet Li. So raw, so pure, call it fresh squeeze. On the town, more than Rex Reed. That he's something like the FDA. How I check cheese, I reach quota. Black ops, elite soldier, move undercover through NY. Malik Yoba, G-coder, beast motor, never cease motor. Machine gun rap, clap until the beat's over. Zargar's ready, so cool. You toss a quarter in the jukebox from across the room. And what I spit upon tune takes over your mind. The rhyme is like Victor Von Doom, from the womb to the tomb. The boom bap ritual, not the typical bullshit that you listen to is principle. Hip hop, that's what you call this. With more bars than Mardi Gras and New Orleans.
You think you were czar?
Nice, dude. That was fucking awesome. Yeah. Woo! It's going worldwide, Nick, and you told me to not do it after the first time.
I did. This is the greatest victory of Robbie's podcast career right now.
Got to make up for that
TikTok. It's good to have you on.
Thank you for having me, guys.
Amen.
So I'm going to start this one off the same way we start off every show. What was the moment you knew you wanted to be a professional wrestler?
Ooh. Growing up, there was two dreams. It was either a stuntman or a pro wrestler. I went to California, tried to be a stuntman. I couldn't get into the union because you got to work on a union job to get in the union, but you can't work on a union job unless you're in the union. So I was doing like indie movies and student shows and stuff like that. And when I have a man telling me he wants to set me on fire and only hands me a Carhartt jacket for protection, I went, you know what? I might try my hand in this wrestling thing. This seems a little too dangerous for me.
Wrestling's kind of stuntman work anyway.
Pretty much. Yeah. But at least nobody's trying to light me on fire yet.
Yeah.
There's a long time left, man.
I think the moment I knew I wanted to do it was my brother was on YouTube like way back in the day when like YouTube was fresh and new, like when you could get away with anything on YouTube. And he had found some like TNA like footage. So like I would always love like the luchadors and stuff like that. And like Rey Mysterio was always dope and stuff like that. And he was a smaller guy, yeah. But then he found like this old like TNA stuff. And like the first match he found was Amazing Red and Jimmy Wang Yang.
Nice.
And I lost it. I'm like, what the hell is this stuff? And like even like before I had found Red, like growing up, my favorites were always like Chris Kanyon and like Nova from ECW. And it was like the guys who like every time you watched them wrestle was coming up with something new. And then I see that match and Red's banging out all these new moves that I've never seen before. And it's like, that's what I want to do. I want to come up with something nobody's ever seen before. And like I just kind of carried that on because like since the beginning, like my goal is like every time you see me, you're going to see something new that you've never seen before. And it's all like thanks to like those kind of things, you know?
It kind of answers my question. Damn it.
That was the one where Yang misses the Yang time, and then Red goes up and hits the code Red right afterwards. That show. That was insanity, dude.
Yo.
Just imagine the first time that the code Red was hit and like how people just reacted never seeing that before.
Red has footage of him hitting the code Red when he was like 9. Like just him wrestling with a cousin and he was hitting code Reds. But like there's always been like this debate because like other people try to claim like they did it first and they were the first ones to pull it off and stuff like that. So like there's like this big eternal like debate going on who actually created the code Red. So I always thought it was kind of fun.
Yeah, dude. That match was sick.
Yep.
I was hanging out with the Heart Who Shall Not Be Named many years ago. And he was trying to tell us this story about how it was some crackhead at Stampede Wrestling that actually invented the Canadian Destroyer. I love like that stuff in wrestling where it's like, no, it wasn't Petey Williams. It was some random asshole that trained at the dungeon. And I'm like, no, it wasn't.
Folklore.
That's like when you're like in middle school and some kid's like, yeah, my cousin invented this thing.
Yeah.
Yo. I mean, I get it nowadays. Like, I don't want to call no one out, but like I did a match a while back, and like this guy, like I was like, oh yeah, you know, maybe I'll do this move. I do like a bottom rope stunner, like a springboard off the bottom rope and do a Stone Cold Stunner. And he's like, oh yeah, I think I might have seen you do that once or twice before. And then you see him like on the scene running around doing that move to people. And I went, But it's like
I'm not going to name names either, but I just figured out exactly who you're talking.
It's not Leo.
Oh, okay.
That wasn't Leo. Everyone thinks it was Leo. Though I do have footage of Leo watching me hit it. So, but he never denied that he never claimed to create it himself. The guy
pay up, Leo.
He kind of like he was on podcast going, yeah, I saw Leo do this thing, but he did it into like an arm drag or something, and I figured I could do it into a cutter. And I went,
Some reachers, man. So, man, what was your first real exposure to wrestling? I mean, like, how did you discover it? Did a family member watch it, and then you kind of watch it, or did you stumble upon it yourself?
It was definitely family members. So my first memory of wrestling is like we were over my great grandparents' house, and me and my brother run around acting like idiots, and we run into the living room, and my uncles are sitting in their recliners watching wrestling, and we run by, and as soon as we turn and we look, in the ring was Demolition, all three members of Demolition.
Fuck yeah!
And then out comes the Legion of Doom, followed by the Ultimate Warrior.
Oh, yeah, like what the fuck's going on?
And like just boggled my mind. So like immediately, like that was like the only thing that could have stopped us right then and there is we sat down and we just watched.
Big
and
meaty
like, I was
love me.
like, big ass spiked shoulder pads and like the makeup and everything. I'm like, oh my god,
Man.
And then that just opened up.
Follow-up question, dude. What Demolition or Road Warriors? Better tag team?
To me, it's always been the Road Warriors.
Everybody says that.
I know. I mean,
most popular, yeah.
Demolition's a better workers.
Yeah,
There it is. Okay.
But to me, Road Warriors are always going to be my guys.
Yeah. Okay.
They did have it. They did have it.
Ooh.
They had the
We almost had
marketability.
another sledge moment there.
Yeah.
I can see both. I can see both sides of the coin. But
One of these days, I'm going to come out with spiked shoulder pads. Like, I want to make my own set and just run around with them.
He's got to run to a Modell Sporting Goods.
There's been many nights when I'm sitting there in like Dick's Sporting Goods or something going, I could modify these.
Just do one big spike on each one, like a traffic cone.
That would be good. I almost got arrested once because of a traffic cone.
Ooh.
We stole a traffic cone one time and drew a little face on it and put it in my passenger side seat just as a joke. And one of my buddies got in trouble because he stole it out of my car and had it in his. And he ratted me out. It's like, oh, it's not even mine. It's my buddy's. It's his. It's like,
what was it like stealing county property or something?
Yep.
Yeah.
City property.
Am I good for?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So you've had the honor of facing both your trainers a few times so far. Back in 2015, you defeated Brian XL for the HOG championship, and you held it for 232 days. You also got to face him defending the belt, and you beat him again. You faced off against Amazing Red a few times. You even tagged with him. What was it to you to be able to face and team up with your trainers? How important was that?
Oh, I mean, it's everything, like they're the ones that give you everything. They're the ones who teach you. So now that's the measuring stick, Yeah. Now you're going in there, you got something to prove. If you don't go into a match with one of your trainers with something to prove, you got a problem, and every time.
Feel like they're watching you like under a microscope?
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. And even though like Red doesn't have social media, somehow he finds a way. So if I do something dumb, I'll hear about it. It's like, hey, I saw this clip of you doing this. And it's like, you don't have social media. How did you see a clip of me doing something dumb? But like, he's got me. He watches everything. Yeah. Like, I'm pretty sure he's got cameras somewhere set up in my house watching me do this interview right now. Like,
Red's like, I got shooters out here.
I'm waiting for that little red bead just to be pelted on my forehead somewhere if I say something dumb. But yeah, both of those, like, every chance I got to step in the ring with either one of them, like, it was an honor. And like, we had some fun, like me and Brian, like we had so much fun, like going back and forth, and like I was like stealing the belt and running away with it, and like it.
In 2015 was like a huge year for you because you faced both of them. I believe you faced Ricochet.
I think
there might have been a little later.
So
and you faced off against Roderick Strong in a hell of a match.
Yep.
Yeah.
I think in 2015 I also wrestled Eric Young. Nice. That was one of my favorites too, because like again, just so fun, Yeah.
And the dude's been around everywhere. Like just being in the ring with him is like a learning experience.
Oh yeah.
Dude does the pile driver, dude. That's all you gotta say.
He hit me with the
That's
pile
nice.
driver, and I was able to do the RVD pop.
Nice.
Like he hit me with I popped right back up onto my butt.
So, obviously, man, we saw it in the video earlier. Super creative offense, like just ridiculous shit that, like, I don't even know. I don't know if you could see the little green room footage down at us at the bottom. Like, I'm just popping for everything. I watched that video twice already today, and I popped again tonight. Two-part question. Part one, where the fuck do you come up with this shit? And part two, have you ever come up with something and then hit it and been like, that's way too much. I can never do that again?
Whew. Yeah, I mean, coming up with it, most of the time, I don't know. I just start messing around, and whatever shows up, like if something happens, it's like, oh, I could work with this. You know, like sometimes like my go-to game plan with it is like I love setting up an expectation and violating it. So like the one you saw in the video there where I do like the little corkscrew off the ropes, but I hit it sideways. At the time, everybody was doing that Andrade gimmick where he'd hit the ropes and he'd hang on and then drop down to the belly and the guy would fly out the ring. So it's like, okay, people are gonna expect that. But what if I go for that and turn it into this?
Right.
Yeah.
And then that just like, you know, it catches people off guard, and that will get the guy, you know, in the fourth row to look up from his phone and go, wait a minute. What?
I thought you were gonna hit me.
So like, oh, I've done that too to freak out the fans. I like run full steam and like hit it sideways. They think I'm gonna dive right onto them. It's great.
You gotta do the M-Dog Matt Cross, hit the ropes, back off.
Yeah, I've done that one a bunch. Though M-Dog did get a little weary eyed when I showed him a clip of me doing it. He's like, that's my thing. I went, I don't do it often, just once in a blue, maybe as an evasion. Yeah, I don't like to steal other people's stuff, but occasionally I'll throw one or two in as like more of a tribute than like, you know, I'll steal your shit and do it every show I do. But like, you know, like the infrared off the top rope, the corkscrew moonsault. You know, I don't break it out all the time, but that's my little tribute to Red. You know, I had originally started using that as a finisher when Red had gone into retirement a couple of years back. You know, before Ospreay brought him back out of retirement. Like he was out. So I asked him if that would be okay. So like I have like kind of like two little piles. I got my stuff I'm coming up with, and then my little tribute pieces, you know.
Yeah.
But
Come out, make sure people know that you got it in the bag.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's I don't. I mean, I'm sure there's something I've thought up that went, this might be a little too much. But most of the time I try it anyways. It's the ones that I'll do and that get messed up that I'm like questioning about bringing out again. You know, like if I mess something up, then I'll get a little hesitant about trying again because I'll get in my head about it. I don't think there's anything I've thought up yet that I haven't been able to pull off.
Oh, man.
Challenge accepted.
You know, like I see, you know, you got your lucha libre style. Have you wrestled internationally, like in Mexico?
I haven't been to Mexico yet. Canada a handful of times.
Okay.
Matter of fact, I'm going back up to Canada. I think it's middle of May, and it's actually announced, so I can mention it now. But I'm wrestling Gringo Loco in Canada, so that's going to be really fun.
Yeah. I was gonna ask if there was, you know, what the differences were.
Nick just came.
I can just. Yeah, there's a blanket between my computer and my lap.
Ironically, like I got the booking to wrestle Gringo, but like 3 or 4 days before the guy told me it was going to be that match, I had another company go, "Yo, I'm going to put you against Gringo Loco because we have like this competition on who can make the nuttier match for our events." And one of the other guys booked Dan Moff versus O'Shea. I can't remember.
Oh man,
that match
those are crazy.
Round two.
was wild. Like
That's the other end.
Remind me after this podcast. I think I got a link for it. I'll send you guys. But that match was wild. So like his way of trying to one up that was to put me versus Gringo Loco. So now I got to work on that cardio stuff.
So, was there any differences that you can note between Canadian and American fans?
No, not too many, I suppose, because like the companies I've worked for up there was like very different. So like I got my start with up there in Squared Circle when they were still around. And then the owner of Squared Circle started like 4 or 5 other promotions, and every time he starts a new promotion, he brings me up and puts me on his shows. So like those ones are very like they like the character stuff, but they also like the crazy move stuff. So like I've always been able to like adapt to that really well. And then the other company that I go up to there was now I think it's called like no ring death match or something like that, but it used to be called Death Proof Fight Club.
Yeah.
So we used to go up there all the time for them and love them to death. That matter of fact, they're the first ones that put me and my manager Trixie in the same ring together.
Space Monkey.
Yeah, we wrestled Space Monkey up there.
Yeah, it's one of my favorite matches of yours.
I can say this because I don't think the footage is anywhere out there. But my first time up in Canada, when I wrestled for Squared Circle, Space Monkey was actually my referee. And then, like, come years later, I think it was the first time I wrestled him. It was for Super Kicked. We had like this crazy like 6-man scramble. It was like me, Monkey, Atticus, Zach Atticus, the Fraternity, and then Psycho Mike.
Ooh.
And it was just, and he was telling me, he's like, "You don't remember me, do you?" I went, "What do you mean?" He goes, "I was your referee the first time you came up here." And I went, "No."
It's so weird, like this business, especially like the guys that like pay their dues. They do like backstage stuff and then refereeing. I actually was like looking at my Facebook the other day, and like I'm on this I was managing on this little indie show in like middle of nowhere, Tennessee, and the referee for the match was Marco Stunt. I was like, what the fuck?
That's amazing.
Like little tiny Marco just refereeing this like Southern style match in middle of nowhere, Tennessee, because trained in Mississippi or whatever. And I was like, this is the wildest shit. Now he's on. Well, he was on AEW. Mr. Vegas.
Okay. I said I know that over the years there's been many faces of Smiley. There's been the yellow, the green, the purple, black and white that you're rocking right now, and more recently the blue. But when you had the army of Smileys come out at House of Glory in order to attack the House of Gangone, that was insane. How many masks and looks do you have? And like, is it hard to keep the look fresh?
I don't think it's hard to keep the look fresh because like for me, like I like to put like little themes behind them. So like I got the one, it's the black holographic mask, and it's the one with like the weird looking jaw, but like on the sides it's got like chains and barbed wire pulling everything back. So like when I constructed that one, for me that was my Hellraiser look, with the chains and the barbed wire. Right, I was trying to go for more of a Hellraiser look. Yeah. The blue one that you just mentioned, the most recent one, that's actually my Mikey Whipwreck look. Because Mikey Whipwreck is my wrestling grandpa. Since he's my trainer's trainer, I call him grandpa. So like that outfit, it's got the dragon on the front. It's the red and yellow dragon with the lightning, which is the shirts Mikey wore when he wrestled.
Yeah.
Like his very iconic wrestling shirt. So I took that shirt and I made a gear out of it. I love coming up with new looks. Like I get told some of the older guys like in the business will tell me like, "Oh, you maybe just stick to one style, just change the colors." But to me, it's like, but I like coming up with new stuff. Like, I like coming up with like fresh ideas and fresh looks.
Yeah, tell that to Rey Mysterio.
Right, like, well, Ray can get away with it. He makes millions. I'm over here buying pants at Hot Topic. But like, and then like Muda is like a big inspiration for me. So my yellow mask, the one on I saw the graphic in the background there for a minute. The yellow and black smudged looking splatter like paint, like that's like a rubber latex. And I'm gonna get another one made like that. That's very like Muda-esque,
Muda's
so like
one of my favorite wrestlers of all time.
Same.
So
that's right.
Okay.
There's another one that I had it made after Matt Travis had passed away. Because Matty had done a Freddy Krueger intro one time, and it was like the dopest thing ever. And we have can you grab it? And I had a mask made that's like a Freddy Krueger inspired smiley mask. But the problem is the guy who made it with Velcro, and I tried to wear it once, and the first hit I took, and that whole thing went sideways, and I went, I can't take it. This bad boy right here.
Ooh.
They got like the little burns inside.
That's cool, dude.
That's rad as fuck.
Made it with the Velcro, so now it's just a dope ass entrance mask.
I was about to say you can wear it for entrances and stuff.
Yeah. So, but this one means a lot to me because, like I said, this is like my Matt Travis tribute piece from when he did the Freddy Krueger entrance. So,
man, that is sick.
I love the Freddy Krueger stuff.
Yeah.
So, who are some of your favorite opponents that you've worked and some matches that people might not have seen that you're like, fuck, I wish this was the one that blew up?
Oof. There's a few. There's a bunch of them. Mark Quinn will always be one of my favorites. Me and Mark Quinn, we started, at Hog together. I'm pretty sure the reason I do a lot of the dumb stuff I can do today is because of him. Because for us, it was always like this friendly set of competition where it's like, I'm going to one up you and do something you can't do. And then he'll one up me and do something I can't do. So we always kind of pushed each other to outdo each other. So our matches, they were so much fun. And though usually we would do a match and we think it would be dope, we get back to training and Red goes, that was trash.
You should get the high spot heroes back together.
Oh, I wish. I was talking to him the other day. I'm like, yo, just bring me into AEW for one night only so we can do high spot heroes again. I missed it. But Quinn is always one of my favorites. Hallow Wicked is another one. I love working with Hallow Wicked. I've wrestled him a handful of times. The man's insane. He's so good. And he should be everywhere.
He really should.
I wrestled Ricochet twice. Those matches were just awesome. Trying to think some of my other good ones I've had. TJ Crawford's another one. Me and TJ, we tore the shit down. It was right when I first started being more of a bad guy and Pro Wrestling Magic. So I got to really kind of play around with that and do some stuff that I'd never really done before. Yeah. Sammy Callahan was one. He was the first guy I defended the House of Glory title against. So you want to talk about a hell of a first defense.
Yeah.
But that was one. Man, I wish that footage was. I have footage on my YouTube from it, but it's not the complete match. I think it comes in 4 or 5 minutes into the match. But I wish that match had the full match because that was one of my favorites. And I want rematches there. I would love to have a rematch with that one. Rich Swann, I got to work him in a multi-man, but I've always wanted a singles match because I feel me and Rich Swann could be really, really good.
That would be incredible.
That'd be ridiculous.
Oh my god. There's a lot of matches I love that are guys that just need to be seen. I had one with Adam Payne, and I don't know if you guys ever seen Adam Payne, but the man's a monster. It's 6'10" or something like that, and he's just beefy.
Dang.
And we just went in that man at 6'10", 300 something pounds, did a moonsault off the apron onto me. That's wild. I love
my mind would have been blown.
Oh my god, your mind was blown. I had to sit up there and look at that man coming at me. I was terrified.
Completely different angle.
I pooped my pants. I haven't actually pooped my pants yet, but Danny DeMonte did get me damn close before.
Yeah. That makes sense. Yeah.
Well, we have a co-host who isn't here, Love Panda, and this is a question he likes to ask. Do you have any pre-match rituals or any things that you do to motivate yourself? Listen to music, anything like that?
I kind of don't, like usually like I'm just kind of walking around like kind of puttering back and forth, like more anxious than anything to get out there. Yeah. If anything, like once my music hits, I do like a little hip swivel or something like that, but that's usually just to pop the guys behind the curtain that are sitting there staring at me. But like I don't have much of a ritual beforehand. I was just kind of like and like I've been told it's weird because it's just me like moping around backstage, and then as soon as like the music hits, I burst through the curtain. I'm like a whole different person. Like that flip switches real quick. And then I come back through the curtain and it turns right back off. They're like,
kind of got a follow up
cool down period. Like,
kind of got a follow up question in that. Like you can see wrestlers and they go in and the winner always goes back elated to some degree, even if they're beat up. The bad guy or the person the loser always kind of goes back, kind of like, oh. Now, when you go backstage as a winner or a loser, do you carry what happened in the ring back to the locker room, at least in your mannerism or your mood? Like if you walk back, if you've lost a match and you walk back to the locker room, are you kind of like, or as opposed to being like, yeah, I fucking won, yeah.
I mean, you carry on whatever story you're telling,
Yeah.
Like if I got my ass beat, then I'm gonna show that I got my ass beat from right until I hit that curtain. But like
when you get back behind the curtain, you just flip that switch and you're just back to your old self.
Pretty much.
Unless it's like legitimate bumps and bruises.
If I'm getting the guys in the back, I might play it up a little bit just to get them a little concerned. But I did one the last Pro Wrestling Magic show we did. We kind of playing some mind games with the Meadowlands Monster and his tag team partner John Tella. Monster gave me a big back body drop, and as soon as I hit, I rolled over, started holding my shoulder, and I got those boys real concerned, like they were ready to stop the match. And like Trixie came running in, she checking up on me, and my tag team partner slid in, and he's pushing them back, and like referees over here throwing up the X and everything, and like we got them boys concerned. And then when they turn their back, Trixie comes running up and
nice,
give them the old Johnson, give them the old uppercut to the Johnny. And then like as soon as the match ends and we get to the back, here comes Ken Broadway up the stairs. He looks at me and goes, "You son of a bitch, I hate you right now." I'm like, "Oh, so sorry." And then we get a little further down into the locker room, and Steve Pena walks up and goes, "You're not allowed to talk to me for at least 2 weeks." And just walks away from me. So like moments like that, it's like, yeah.
Everybody got swerved.
When you get the people who aren't supposed to believe,
yeah,
that's the greatest victories.
Oh yeah.
So we were talking about tag teams. You've been a part of a good amount of tag teams.
I've had a lot.
Yeah, there's been the High Spot Heroes. There's been you and Mike Grassa. There's been you and Everett Cross, you and Juba, and now you and Elijah Eden. Is tag team wrestling something that you're really, really like into?
I have so much fun with tag team wrestling because like the more bodies you throw in the ring, the more ideas I can come up with.
That reminds me, Mike Quackenbush said that tag team wrestling or wrestling as a whole is like painting. The more people you add, the more colors and techniques you can add.
It's pretty much it, Like I love tag team wrestling because like I said, like you get to add in like all these different variables and different like things that you can do and stuff like that. It just makes it more fun, But like I love all wrestling, man. Like I love multi-mans. I love the one-on-ones. I love tag teams. Like I love it all.
Now, if there was a tag team, well, not like to form a tag team, but like to do a tag match with somebody that you never tagged with before, who do you think you would have good chemistry with?
Even though I've been pitching for probably a good year now to get a match with him, I would say Delirious.
Ooh.
Like a Smiley Delirious tag team. I feel like that could be real good.
kind of need that in my life now.
Yeah, that needs to happen in some capacity. Like
I've been pitching left, right, and center to get somebody to put me versus Delirious. Ever since, like, especially since he started hitting the scene more lately, and with like the whole ROH now being a part of AEW and stuff like that, I noticed he's been hitting more and more companies. So I've been pitching for a while because like he was one of the big inspirations for me. Like when I first started and everything, you know, it was the Deliriouses and the El Genericos and stuff like that. Like, and obviously I ain't getting no match with Generico anytime soon. But Delirious has always been one of my favorites. So like to get a match, me and him, yes, please.
That would be
fun. Dude, all you gotta do is get to Tijuana and get him out of that orphanage, and I feel like it could happen, man. So
say hi to Big Larry. Say hi to Big Larry. Not many people know about Big Larry,
so with like Lucha Libre style, like not that it ever really went away, but now it's getting more heavily featured on like big indie shows like GCW and you know, even some of the southern shows that I go to. There's a lot of flippy shit down here now, which is great. I love flippy shit. But do you feel like you don't? I hate to be this guy, but I do it almost every show. It seems like. Do you feel like you don't get the fucking credit you deserve sometimes? Because like you're doing shit that nobody's fucking doing.
I could, yeah. I mean, I would say like sometimes like it's easy to get overlooked and stuff like that, you know. And it all depends like what's hot in the moment. But like I've always kind of made it a point to like I'm not stuck in that lucha bubble. So like I like to incorporate lucha into maybe more of a brawling like style. You know, or I'll use a lucha move to set up maybe something with a little bit more of a powerhouse finish and stuff like that. So like I try not to get stuck in that lucha bubble, you know, because like I don't want to be pigeonholed as he's the flippy guy, you know.
Yeah.
But
you busted out some power moves too, and you make it believable. So you're well rounded.
Yeah, I mean, it's so many different styles of wrestling. Like I want to do them all, you know. I can break out the comedy if I need to, you know. Especially lately, I'd be talking a lot of doo-doo in the matches, like, just for fun. The other day, me and Grasso were teaming up in Rhode Island, and we were wrestling the Hispanic Mechanics, and the crowd just started chanting "See, see, see," and I'm on the apron going, "I don't speak German. What are you saying?" They got the biggest shit out of that shit, you know. But like ever since I learned how to talk properly. Because like for the first 8-9 years of my wrestling career, I didn't speak English, you know.
Yeah.
Because I have all these different personalities that you see through all the different masks. Those are all different personalities of mine, you know, and they're all in my head trying to talk at the same time. So when I tried to talk, and then I got 20 different personalities talking at once, it comes out as gibberish. You know, it was just recently, within the past year and a half, that I started to really hone in on listening to one voice at a time to be able to get the speaking part of wrestling.
When Nick originally said that he got you on here, I was like, okay, how is this gonna go? Because is he gonna sit here and sound like Donnie from Wild Thornberries, or are we gonna get some actual sentences?
All right.
We're gonna get grunts or speech.
Yeah. For the first couple of years, I think like the only time I was able to do podcasts is when I had the doctor speaking for me, because he was able to translate, you know. But
well, you know, this is a question I like to ask people. Wrestling, you know, obviously you got great love and passion for it, and most all the guys that we've had on our show love the business of being a wrestler, or whatever their part in it is. But wrestling is a job, and like all jobs suck sometimes. What sucks about your job?
Not being booked enough. Like, you know, I want to be able to quit the 9 to 5. I want to be able to show up, wrestle all weekend, then come home and spend the weekdays with my son, and you know, beat him up and powerbomb him onto the bed.
Yeah.
You know, but like, it's like a lot of people they're like, oh, I'm so beaten, bruised, and hurt. And I'm like, yeah, I'm beaten, bruised. I mean, I got a big ass bruise right here. I don't even know what it's from. You know, the other day somebody in the locker room thought it was a tattoo. Oh, no, it's not a tattoo. But like,
a tattoo of shading.
Right? But like, you got a galaxy tattooed on your arm? No. But like,
It's the Milky Way.
like I don't mind, limping around a little bit and being beat up. I don't mind the long drives or like the hustle and like the struggles of like trying to come up with new t-shirt design or like I need to get new wrestling gear, but I got to get some money together for that. Like you just find ways to do it. And like,
well, what about like the personalities in the business, like difficult personalities, like anything like that rub you the wrong? What would rub you the wrong way? Let's put it that way.
I mean, there's definitely guys in the business that are a pain in the ass.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like Robbie.
Like, but like, there's so many good guys in the business that like I can avoid them.
Yeah.
Like I might have to work with somebody who's a little bit of a struggle to work with. Maybe they don't want to like put up with like what my ideas are, stuff like that. But like that's where like that well-rounded aspect comes in, because like, okay, you don't want to deal with my super creative, crazy ideas. Screw it. Let's go old school. You want to go old school? You want to brawl?
Yeah.
Fight on.
You just go with it. Let's just do it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Good
I mean, it's all part of the hustle, really.
Yeah.
So.
Thank you, man. Good question. Good answer. I mean,
so on the later part of 2016 into 2017, you got to work a little bit with GCW. You got to hold their Extreme title. That was huge when I saw that happen. But unfortunately, you weren't really end up booked too much by GCW. Now knowing that, like how big they are now, would you love to like who would you like to work with from GCW nowadays? Because you won the title from Pinky Sanchez.
Yeah.
And then like you faced Juventud Carrera.
Hoovy.
And then you lost in a 4-way with Tony Deppen, Eli Everfly, and Zenshi.
Yep. That matter of fact, that was the first time I busted out the just plain filthy Buster.
Yeah,
that was the first time I ever.
I keep bragging about that, saying that something I am involved with is named in wrestling.
Pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was poor Eli. He had to be the first one to try it.
Eli is the fucking man, though. I love
Eli. He was the first one taken. I'm pretty sure Leroy Green's taken it more times than anybody else. I've hit him with it at least like 3 or 4 times at this point.
Oh man! All right.
Man, I mean, there's a lot of really good talent over in GCW, and like, I would love to go back with them. I'm not really sure where, what it was that like I lost connection with them. But like, I mean, GCW was so much fun. They always let me go out. They let you go out there and just do what you want to do. Go out there and get crazy.
Especially now that they're kind of doing like a traveling show thing. Like if you can get on a couple shows there, your name thrown out to new markets and shit that you never really got to go before. Because you did the East Coast, you did like Midwest a little bit, you did like Ohio and stuff, and then you did Canada. So like there's a whole bunch of like areas that haven't seen Smiley.
Yeah. Ohio, I've only done 1 show in Ohio so far, and that was the biggest, I guess, screw job I ever got from a promoter was that show.
Ooh.
Like,
oh no, you can't. No. We're not glossing over this one.
Not glossing over this one? All right.
Circle back.
If you don't feel like it, but
I was waiting for my girl to pop up out the side and like shoot me the look because she hates the story. Because this was an adventure, like an adventure. So, I had originally gotten booked for a promotion in Ohio, and I had posted on Facebook like, "Oh, these are my upcoming dates and whatnot." And the promoter, David Tower, had seen it. He hit me up, and him I don't mind putting on blast because he screwed me over, and he promised me he'd bring me back. He never did. And he promised me footage from the match too, and I never saw the footage from the match. But he hit me up. He's like, "Hey man, do you have this date available?" I went, "Yes, I do." He goes, "All right, cool. I'm gonna bring you down to my show. I'm gonna fly you out, put you up in a hotel, give you some money for, give you some money for wrestling my show." I went, "Perfect." Nobody's ever flown me out before. Nobody's ever put me up in a hotel before. Let's do this. I'm hyped.
Yeah, that's dope.
You know, a week goes by. Hey, man, one of my money guys backed out. I don't think I can afford to fly you out. Oh, that's fine, man. You know what? Book a couple of my friends. We'll make a road trip out of this. It will be dumb fun. Put us up in a hotel, give us some money. Yeah, man, that sounds great. We got it. It's like, all right, cool. A week before the show comes up. Hey, man, my other money guy backed out. I don't know if I can put you in a hotel. I went, all right, well, we're still pretty new in this business. Like, you got a couch we can sleep on or something like that? Like, we'll sleep on floors, bathtubs. Like, it's, you know, nothing new to us. Yeah. But, like, give us somewhere to rest because it's a long-ass drive. And he's like, yeah, definitely. We got you.
There's a thing here.
The ride itself was an adventure because Red had brought in a giant military size, like, crate or whatever you call those things, like the foot locker, like one of the big ass foot lockers, and it's just full of VHSs from back in the day, like old lucha tapes and New Japan, and one of them that's just dedicated to Masawa and stuff like that. And he brings it into Hog and he pops it down. He goes, I'm going to leave these here. And I went, I'm going to stay up all night and I'm going to watch these. And he goes, all right, just lock up when you leave. So I sat in the ring on a crash pad, popping in VHS after VHS till about 4 a.m. and then went, oh shit, we're about to leave in an hour for the show. So I had to run home, grab my gear, come back to the school, and start the ride. So I was exhausted. One of the other kids in the car, he had a bit too much to drink, so he was pretty much passed out in the back seat. The other kid, I don't know what his excuse was, but he slept pretty much the whole ride too. The one driving would pull on all these little pranks to us. So like at one point, we're all passed out in the car, and of course he records it on his phone, and he records all of us sleeping. He turns the volume on the radio all the way up, and he presses play, and it's Mick Foley's theme song. The one that starts with the clock out. So I'm sitting here like this. I hear that. I'm like, ah! Freak the hell out. He laughs at me. I call him an asshole, and I turn around and look. The other two never even woke up. We could be dead and they would be fine. So
I would have had a heart attack.
And then at one point, we're sitting there, and he goes, dude, I'm doing about 120 miles an hour. Look at the speedometer. The kid sitting behind him wakes up and goes, slow the fuck down, man. Slow the fuck down. Right back to sleep. And it's like, the hell just happened with it? And then right before we get to the show, now we're in who knows what state, somewhere close to Ohio. I wake up and I look, and we're in the woods on a dirt road. And I go, bro, where did you bring us? He goes, I don't know. This is where the GPS took me. And like, you look on either side of us, and it's just a straight embankment that goes down like a good 10 feet on either side. So we're like freaking the hell out. Finally, he hits a little bit of pavement. And he turns the corner. As soon as we turn the corner, we look, and these two girls, I shit you not, two girls in like Amish outfits, one pulling the other one in the little red wagon behind them, and they just stare at us as we drive by. And we look at each other and we go, we're going to fucking die tonight. Like, this is some horror movie stuff. Like
Texas Chainsaw Massacre shit.
Like, we are freaking the hell out. So eventually we get to the show, and then I realize I forgot my wallet at home. So now I'm the jerk who couldn't pay for any gas. These guys had to buy me food and everything else. I'm like, all right, guys, well, when we get our pay, I'll just give you my half. You know, I'm sorry, and I'll pay you back the rest when we get home. We go, we do the show, we wrestle, we have a four-way. Hell of a fun match. Show ends. We go to say goodbyes. He's like, hey, guys, thanks for coming out. You the best. I got you next time. And it's like, next time? What about this time? He goes, I don't have it in the budget, man. I'll get you next time.
Oh, that's
like, oh, okay. He goes, you're on the payroll. Don't worry. $20 each. I got you next time. And I went, that was like a 9-hour ride for us to get here. And we almost got murdered twice. Like, and you want to give us $20 to come all the way out here? Like, I don't think this is going to happen. I heard back from him once after that. He's like, hey, man, got the show coming up. I'm gonna get you a flight and everything else. I went, all right. Week later, hey man, my guy backed out. I'm good. Have a good day.
You.
Yeah, I just never went back, you know?
Man, if there was a
And, like-
name for this episode, it would be "Hey Man."
Hey, man.
And then like all I asked for, like I got screwed on the pay. You know, we paid out the ass for that trip. And then the worst part is I felt bad. At the end of the day, I go to get my gear bag out of the car. As I picked it up, my wallet fell out. So I had my wallet on me the whole time. I didn't even know. I went, oh man, I'm sorry, guys.
Well, at least you go ahead and pay him then.
Yeah.
Oh.
But it, you know, even stuff like that, you know, we got screwed. We lost a lot of money, but like, it's an adventure, you know.
Yeah.
We did one time. It was me, Mark Quinn, Draconis, and Alex Reyes. We drove from New York City to Texas. It was like a 26-hour drive. Like, and like, I don't think we got paid until like 8 months after we did the event. So we did like the whole drive on our own. And I got screwed on that one too. Because like, it was me and Alex Reyes were the only two with a license. And it was supposed to be drive 3 hours, rest stop, drive 3 hours, switch drivers. So we could get, you know, good 3-6 hours of sleep between drives. He would drive like 2 or 3 hours and go, I don't feel like driving anymore. Wake up, Smiley. So I'm like sitting there like trying like not to fall asleep behind the wheel going, why am I so tired if I just slept for 6 hours? Like this doesn't make sense. And Draconis was supposed to be my co-pilot, but he kept falling asleep on me. So Mark Quinn had to sit up for 26 hours straight to make sure that we made it to the venue on time, like safely. Like we made it to the hotel safely. Like that man was a trooper that night.
Oh,
Damn.
But it's all adventures, man. They're all stories, you know.
dude,
When my son gets old enough and starts to care about wrestling, I can tell him some stories.
dude,
Right
the
now, all he
road
cares
stories
about is
alone,
charity.
that's the best part of the business, man. Like the in-ring stuff is awesome, but just like those moments, like crazy shit on car rides and the stories that you hear, like having people in the car with you.
And then my favorite ones are like, I mean, there's like in-ring ones too, like Alex Raymond Ramen. He was Aaron Bradley at the time, but like we did a ladder match one time, and I jumped off a ladder from inside the ring to the outside, and the referee didn't hold the ladder well, and it kicked out from beneath me, and I almost spiked myself, but like I was able to kind of like not die, so I hit. I made sure I was good. I jumped up and went, yeah. He started kind of like doing the whole crawling up my leg thing. As I was crawling up my leg, he goes, yeah. And he pinches me. I go, that's my dick. That's my dick. That's my dick. And he pinches me right in the head of the pecker.
Oh man.
So now like we laugh about it all the time. And like if we wrestle together, all I see is him in the corner go like this. I try to run away. Like moments like that. But my personal favorites, connections with the fans. Man, I'm a nobody, but like I've made some connections with some of the kids out there, and like, oh, they're life changing. You know, this at Pro Wrestling Magic, like one of the little boys there, Mikey, he was born. I always get this wrong. I want to say it was like 10 weeks early or something like that. He has cerebral palsy and something else that like the affected his development. So he's stuck in a wheelchair. And like on my Twitter and stuff like that, it's like the pinned one at the very top. You know, my favorite thing in the world. I'll run out there on intermission. I grab him, I throw him in the ring, and me and him just roll around the ring for the whole intermission. Like I'm supposed to be out there selling T-shirts and make money off my merch. I just tell one of my buddies, go sell some shirts. I don't care what you're selling for. I'm gonna go play with Mikey. You know, but like he gets so excited having that moment to just play around in the ring, and like. I do the job every show. Like I roll over, throw him up on top of me. The whole crowd counts the 1, 2, 3. You know, as a little boy Wyatt out in Connecticut, his grandparents hit me up one time. Goes, I know you're probably busy, but Wyatt's birthday's coming up. I'm like, I'll be there. Just tell me where I'm going. And then they
memory right there.
Yeah, they brought out like a refrigerator box. And they wrapped it up and they stuck me in it. They go, Wyatt, there's your present. He comes over and he picks up the box, and there was me inside, and the kids start crying, you know. And now I'm pretty sure that kid's in school somewhere. Like, you know, that was years ago, but like, it's still those connections. You know, he still asks his parents about me. You know,
that's a great memory to have.
Oh yeah,
absolutely, man, absolutely. Do you want to talk a little bit about intergender wrestling? What your thoughts on it are? Have you ever wrestled a female? And
oh yeah,
would
oh,
you?
yeah. I've not too many. Like I've wrestled Vanity in a tag team match one time. It was me and Kyle the Beast versus Vanity and Ali Rex. I've wrestled Kimberly a couple different times. Once in Chikara when I was part of that, and then once in Jersey All Pro, my debut for Jersey All Pro. What else have I wrestled? I wrestled Violet from House of Glory, but those were more like a like the secret show kind of things for House of Glory, you know. But I mean, I'm down for them, man. Like, I think, you know, I think it's fun. You know, it's a totally different story to tell. You know, like it's all storytelling. You know.
Yeah,
I'm a big fan of it, and I'm like the only one out of my group of friends that ever like adamantly defend it. And I'm like, I don't know why y'all are so out of shape about it. It's literally professional athletes being professional athletes.
Yeah. Yeah, as long as both people can be professional, then everything comes out beautifully. You know.
Exactly.
And I mean, people will say like, "Oh, it's unbelievable that a woman could beat a man like that." And some of them women have beat me like worse than any man has ever beaten me.
I've been
there. I've got my ass with plenty, but like,
hardest I ever got hit was Mickey Knuckles. I'll say it the rest of my life. That woman dislocated my fucking jaw.
Yeah, she's great, man. Like I remember watching her back in like Impact, like when she first debuted. I think it was with the Beautiful People and stuff like that. You know, Mickey Knuckles is awesome.
Yeah. So, you got something else, TJ?
No, I was.
Oh, you had that.
You said so, so I was like,
So, when it's all said and done, and you've moved on from the business and so on and so forth, what do you want your legacy to be in the business and out?
I mean, I've been saying it for the longest that like at the end of the day, like I want to own my own wrestling school.
Mm-hmm.
Like I want to be able to pass on knowledge and like ideas and stuff like that. Like, I mean, there's so many matches where I go into and I went, "Hey, have you ever thought about doing this move?" And like I'll explain something to the guy that will like, it's something that nobody else done. There was one very recently. Like, I don't want to put him on blast because like if he wants to take claim for it, he can take claim for it. But like, it was like a double down that I did in a match recently. That's like. It's perfect. It's so perfect for him because of his size and everything else. But like, I love teaching, man. Like, I'll go to House of Glory, and I'm pretty sure I spend more time like helping to educate the new kids coming in than I do getting in the ring and doing drills myself. Because like, I just love it. I see like I'll be sitting there trying to do a drill, but if I turn and I look and I see somebody struggling with a roll, I run right over and go, "Hey, try it like this." Because like, if I wasn't a wrestler, I'd probably try and be a teacher. Because like it's just something about passing on knowledge that's so rewarding. As far as like in-ring style goes, like I just want I don't know, I guess I just want to have a legacy of like being the guy that like wasn't scared to mess up. Like I'm the guy who wasn't scared to try something new and like be innovative. Like a lot of people are scared to try new innovative moves because like they don't want to look weird or they don't want to like come off wrong, like come off like, oh, that was dumb or something like that. Like, trust me, I've done plenty of moves that I'm like, it kind of looks lame, but like I tried it. Like I want to be like one of them. Like people tell me all the time, like I'm the most innovative guy on the scene today, and it's like that's a badge of honor to me.
Yeah.
Because like like I said, I came up with watching Red, watching Nova, watching Chris Canyon and stuff like that. And it's like, that's what I want to be. I want to be that innovative guy that's got something new every show. And then like, as far as like the connection with the fans go, like, I just want to be able to know, like, I touched somebody's life out there. One of the craziest things I ever had is like, guy would tell me like, dude, I didn't know if I was going to make it till tomorrow. And then me and you chatted online. And like, just like, cause he messaged me and I was up, like, it was like a late night thing. And I was just up for whatever reason. I just sat there and chatted with him for a while. Like,
Smiley's always down to chat.
Oh, of course. Like, I mean, I say it all the time. Like, who am I? I'm just some fat kid from Maine who decided to put on a mask and do some dumbass flips. But this fat kid from Maine doing the dumbass flips was able to touch that man's life to the point where, like, he didn't do something dumb and hurt himself.
Yeah, man.
You know, like, that's wild to me because that's what wrestling did for me, you know? Like, at the end of the day, wrestling saved me because, like, I was that guy. Like, I was ready to go home and do something dumb that would make it so I wasn't here today. But, like, for whatever reason, my buddy gave me a VHS, and I went home, watched that, and I saw Tommy Dreamer and Sandman in the Singapore Cane match. And because of that, I went, dude, if he can go through that shit, I can put up with some bullies. You know, I can put up with some shit. Like, I can put up with the depression that I feel. Like, I can get through this shit.
That's
so,
a very
like,
good way of putting it.
I just want to know I'm able to, like, I've been able to touch people's lives and make their lives a little bit better. You know, like, it's that Robin Williams quote. You know, I don't know what my purpose is on this world, but I know because I'm here, some people have, I'm fucking this quote up badly. But, like,
Paraphrase.
I just know because I've been around, other people's lives are better for it. And, like, that's all I could ask. You know?
Wow. Beautiful, dude. Beautiful, man, dude. It's really nice getting to know you, man, and hear your story, dude. Seriously.
I love it. So we always end the show the same way, man. I'm going to give you full screen. Send whatever message you want out to your fans, to the listeners of the show. Hype your socials, hype your upcomings, whatever you want to do, man. The stage is yours. Smiley, it has been a pleasure, man.
Thank you guys so much for having me. Ladies and gentlemen of the wrestling world, I thank you so much for letting me be able to follow my dream, for being able to put on a performance and being able to present my art to the world. I couldn't thank you all enough. Go out, support some wrestling, watch some videos, hit up a wrestler, tell them how good they're doing, because it means the world to us, guys. Like, we just need to know that you appreciate what we're doing, and we'll keep doing it. Y'all make it worth the bumps and the bruises. You know, this shit here, it meant I'm okay with this because I know somebody went home happy because they got to see me wrestle. And that's all that matters to me. Thank you guys so much for supporting wrestling, for supporting me. If this is the first time seeing me, let's talk. Hit me up online on the socials, Twitter and Instagram, Smiley_Lucha. Facebook, you can check me out on as Ernest Price or a like page under Smiley the Psycho Lucha. If you guys want some t-shirts, I got some t-shirts on Pro Wrestling Tees. Greatly appreciate it. Helps me feed my cute ass 3-year-old. And just thank you. Thank you all for being fans, man. Thank you guys.
I think that way. Oh God, I forgot to hit the button. Oh, I screwed up.
You fucked up.
You fucked up.
Dude, Smiley, appreciate it, man. It's been a pleasure having you on.
Thank you guys.
Thanks,
Bring you
homie.
back in the future, man. It's been good times.
Hell yeah.
All right, thank you, bro.
Peace out, brother.
Everybody else doing the thing. Shit.
Everyone doing it. I'm gonna go wrestle on Saturday and bang it out for no reason.
Yeah.
You can borrow $1 all of a sudden.
You can always borrow it if you need it, man.
All right, man. Oh, dude. Good guy.
That was so fun.
It was a good get, TJ.
Yeah, that was awesome, dude. Cool dude.
Definitely a cool dude. Awesome guest. Hopefully next week we keep the streak going. Next week, TJ, I can't wait to see what the fuck you do with this video, man.
I have to start working on it like tomorrow.
Like when we booked this guy, I was like, this might be the bloodiest video we've ever gotten to do.
Yeah,
Next
dude,
week.
awesome. We haven't done a real hardcore death guy since like Tank and John Wayne, right?
Yeah.
Bloody.
But
dude.
next week, the guest on the show will be the lovable psychopath himself, Tommy Vendetta. That was going to be wild. That's a funny fucking dude. It's going to be good shit. So, for TJ Vegas, I'm going to get it right this time.
It's a lot easier now.
I pointed the right way. It took 36 episodes, but I pulled it off. Ladies and gentlemen, I am your boy, the Ace Nick White. This has been the Uncut Wrestling Podcast. And Robbie, Smiley's still backstage, so let him see your other gimmick. How many clicks is it, Bubba?
Dude, 1 and 2.
hate you so